Hello friends, you are welcome to our literary channel Academic Domain. Today I am going to discuss the novel Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. In today's class 1 will cover the points such as brief biography of Charles Dickens, historical context of Oliver Twist, summary and analysis of the novel Oliver Twist, themes in Oliver Twist, and major characters of the novel. Brief biography of Charles Dickens. Born to an English Navy clerk and a mother of 7 other children, Charles Dickens lived a life of some middle-class comfort until, abruptly, changes in the family's financial situation forced his family into a poorhouse and him, at age 10, to work for some time at a boot-blacking factory. Although Charles eventually went to school and began a career as a law clerk, journalist, and writer, he never forgot this period of economic privation and social despair, and he included depictions of poverty in many of the 15 novels and other stories and pieces of prose he wrote over the course of his life. Historical context of Oliver Twist. The Victorian period coincides with a series of political, economic, and social changes in England that are inseparable from the nature of the fiction produced. The high point of the Industrial Revolution took place, more or less, at the time of Oliver Twist's writing. The production of goods had transitioned from cottage industries in the countryside to centralized factories in London and in the newer cities of Manchester and Birmingham. A whole host of other industries sprang up to support these new modes of production, including coal energy and railroad infrastructure development, and cities grew to include vast tenements of workers recently relocated from the country. England was also the crown jewel of an empire, on which the sun never set, meaning it extended across much of the known world, including Australia and New Zealand, the Indian subcontinent, and interests in Africa. London was not just a hub for English workers, writers, artists, and thinkers, it was a multinational cosmopolis, the like of which the world had never seen, or had not since the far different Roman Empire, 1800 years previous. Dickens' fiction reflects London both as a centre of international power, as a city consisting of small neighborhoods, and of a city made up of the rich and those clinging to new and tenuous economic circumstances. Summary and analysis of Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist begins in a workhouse in 1830s England, in an unnamed village, where a young woman, revealed to be Oliver's mother, gives birth to her son and promptly dies. The boy, lucky to survive, is raised until the age of 9 in a farm for young orphaned children, and then is sent to the local workhouse again, where he labors for a time, until his innocent request for more food so angers the house's board and beadle, Mr. Bumble, that the workhouse attempts to foist Oliver off as an apprentice to some worker in the villager. Oliver is eventually given over to a coffin maker named Sowerberry. Oliver works as a mute mourner for Sowerberry, and must sleep at night among the coffins. After a fight with Noah, another of Sowerberry's apprentices, over Oliver's unwed mother, whom Noah insults, Oliver runs away to London, to make his fortune. Near London, Oliver meets a well-dressed young boy who introduces himself as the Artful Dodger, a thief under the employ of a local crime boss named Fagin. The Dodger takes Oliver to Fagin, who promises to help Oliver but really holds him hostage, and forces him to go on a thieving mission with the Dodger and Bates, another young criminal. Bates and Dodger try to steal the handkerchief of an old man, who notices Oliver, an innocent onlooker, and believes him to be the thief. Oliver is caught and hauled to jail, only to be released into the old man Brownlow's company after Brownlow sees that Oliver had nothing to do with the crime. Brownlow nurses Oliver for a time and vows to educate him properly. But after sending Oliver out to return some books and money to a bookseller, Brownlow is shocked to find that Oliver does not return. Oliver has been picked up by Nancy, an associate of Fagin's, and taken back to the criminal gang. The remainder of the novel comprises Brownlow's attempts to find Oliver, and Oliver's attempts to escape Fagin, his criminal associate Sykes, and the other boys. Fagin orders Oliver to accompany Sykes and another thief named Toby Crackit on a house-breaking, in a country village, that goes awry. Oliver is shot in the arm in the attempt, by a servant named Giles of the Maylie House, the house being broken into, Oliver nearly dies, but walks back to the house the next morning and is nursed back to health by Rose, Mrs. Maylie, and a local doctor named Lisbon. Lisbon later takes Oliver into London to find Brownlow, but they discover Brownlow has gone to visit the West Indies. Oliver is crestfallen, but is happy nonetheless with the Maylies, and is educated by an old man in the Maylies village. Later, on a trip into London, Rose is visited by Nancy, who wishes to come clean about her involvement in Oliver's oppression, and Oliver finds that Brownlow is back in the city, having returned from the West Indies. Meanwhile, Mrs. Connie, mistress of the workhouse, receives a package from a dying woman named Old Sally, which Sally in turn received from Oliver's mother upon her death. The package contains material indicating Oliver's family history, which is of interest to a friend and shadowy associate of Fagin's named Monks. Nancy meets with Rose and Brownlow in secret in London, to discuss what she has overheard from Fagin and Monks regarding Oliver's parentage. Noah, sent to spy on Nancy, overhears this conversation and reports it to Fagin. Fagin tells Sykes, misleadingly, that Nancy has peached on the whole gang, even though Nancy refused to incriminate Fagin or Sykes to Brownlow, and Sykes, in a fit of rage, kills Nancy, then goes on the lam with his dog. Brownlow realizes that he recognized Oliver as resembling the picture of a woman in his parlor, and also recognized a man he comes to realize as Monks. Brownlow pieces together the mystery of Oliver's parentage. Oliver's father is also Monk's father, and Monk's mother defrauded Oliver's mother, an unwed woman named Agnes, of the inheritance Oliver's father, Edwin, intended to leave to Oliver and Agnes. Monks wishes to destroy these facts of Oliver's parentage in order to keep all the inheritance for himself. But Brownlow confronts Monks with these facts, and Monks agrees, finally, to sign an affidavit admitting his part in the conspiracy to defraud Oliver. Meanwhile, the members of Fagin's gang are all caught: Noah, Charlotte, his partner, the Dodger, and Fagin himself. Sykes dies, by accident, attempting to escape a mob that has come to kill him following Nancy's death. Brownlow manages to secure half of Oliver's inheritance for Oliver, and gives the other half to Monks, who spends it in the New World on criminal activity. Rose Maylie, long in love with her cousin Harry, eventually marries him, after Harry purposefully lowers his social station to correspond with Rose's. Rose was said to be of a blighted family, and in the novel's final surprise, this blight is revealed. Rose's sister was Agnes, meaning that Rose is Oliver's aunt. At the novel's end, Oliver is restored to his rightful lineage and is adopted by Brownlow. The pair live in the country with Harry, who has become a parson, and Rose, along with Losbon and Mrs. Maylie. Oliver can, at last, be educated in the tranquility and manner he deserves, as the son of a gentleman. Themes in Oliver Twist: thievery and crime, poverty, institutions, and class, individualism and social bonds, social forces, fate, and free will, city and country. Major characters in Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist. The novel's hero, Oliver Twist, is aged 9 at the beginning of the novel, and several years older by the end. It is not clear exactly how much time elapses. He is probably about 12. Born of an unwed mother, in a poorhouse, Oliver is raised in the same poorhouse, then apprenticed to a coffin maker named Sowerberry. After getting in a fight with another apprentice regarding his mother's reputation, Oliver strikes out for London on foot, where he accidentally falls in with a group of thieves led by Fagin. Oliver is briefly saved by Brownlow, only to be retaken by Nancy, and involved, later, in a burglary of the Maylies' house that almost kills him. The Maylies, Rose and her aunt, take Oliver in, and the novel traces the discovery of Oliver's parentage, a secret kept close by Monks, Oliver's half-brother, who wishes to disinherit his brother and eliminate all traces of Oliver's high-born ancestry. Oliver ends the novel happily, having been adopted by Brownlow. Throughout the novel, Oliver remains a boy of good morals, despite his dire financial situation. Agnes Fleming. Oliver's unwed mother, Agnes, was engaged to Oliver's father, Edwin, but Edwin died before they could be married. Agnes was pregnant when Edwin died. Agnes gives birth to Oliver in a poorhouse, since her family has abandoned her in the wake of her pregnancy. At the novel's end, the narrator says that, though she was a fine woman, and beautiful, Agnes was weak and erring, because of her dalliance with Edwin before their marriage. Edwin Leeford, married first to Monk's mother, and then engaged to Agnes Fleming. Oliver's father dies in Rome after having claimed his inheritance, which he intended to pass on to Oliver and Agnes. This money, instead, went to Monk's mother and to Monk's, thus precipitating much of the drama in the novel, Agnes giving birth to Oliver in a poorhouse, and Oliver's travails in finding out his true identity. Mr. Brownlow, a man who became E.S. Oliver's adopted father at the end of the novel. Brownlow is robbed earlier in the novel by Bates and the Dodger, only to think that Oliver, who was with those two boys, was responsible. Brownlow recants his accusation and takes Oliver home, to nurture him, but when he sends Oliver out on a mission to return books, prompted by his friend Grimwig, to test Oliver's virtue, Oliver is retaken by Fagin. Brownlow is distraught at what he believes to be Oliver's betrayal of him, but never entirely believes that Oliver is a bad at heart and spends the remainder of the novel solving the mystery of Oliver's birth and inheritance. Losberne, a doctor and close associate of the Maylie family, Losberne cares for Oliver when Oliver is recovering from a gunshot wound in the Maylie home. Later, he cares for Rose when she falls ill with fever. Losberne, at the novel's end, moves close to Harry and Rose, as he has become almost a part of the family. Fagin, one of the novel's trio of antagonists, Fagin is in charge of the boys, his thieves, and their exploits pay for his life in London. Fagin attempts to make Oliver a thief, but fails. Fagin is later sentenced to death. Fagin is Jewish, and described in extremely anti-Semitic terms by the narrator. Monks, the second of the novel's antagonists, Monks, whose real name is Edward Leeford, is Oliver's half-brother, and is hellbent on keeping his own fraudulent inheritance by eliminating all traces of Oliver's inheritance, and on making Oliver into a thief so that his name might be ruined. Monks fails in this attempt, after being caught by Brownlow, and admits to his misdeeds and acknowledges Oliver's true parentage. Charlie Bates, a young thief of Fagin's who is always joking and laughing, Bates undergoes a moral transformation in the novel, from ironic young criminal to defender of goodness after Bates realizes Sykes has killed Nancy. Bates ends the novel having given up crime and taken on a series of difficult jobs, working in the fields. Nancy, Sykes' romantic partner, Nancy at first takes Oliver back to Fagin but later expresses regret for this, and attempts to protect Oliver as much as she can. After talking one night to Rose and Brownlow, and being overheard by Noah, Nancy is killed by Sykes in a rage, for Sykes believes Nancy has peached or ratted out the gang, despite the fact that she has staunchly refused to do so. Rose Maylie, Mrs. Maylie's niece, Rose helps nurse Oliver back to health, only to catch sick later herself. Rose is in love with Harry, but social barriers, her low social standing, keep their marriage from occurring until the end of the novel. It is revealed, at the novel's end, that Rose is Oliver's biological aunt. Rose embodies pure goodness and generosity. Harry Maylie, Rose's cousin, Harry is poised for a brilliant career in politics, but he renounces this, and takes on the life of a village parson, in order to marry Rose, who believes she is far too socially inferior to Harry to be an acceptable wife for him. The two live, happily ever after, at the novel's end. Mr. Bumble, the village beadle of Oliver's home village, Mr. Bumble is another, more minor antagonist in the novel. He hates Oliver, and eventually marries Mrs. Bumble in order to take over the poorhouse's control, such that he can order paupers around. But Bumble is exposed as being complicit in a part of Monk's plot, and loses his social station. He and his wife later end up paupers in the very same poorhouse that they used to run. Blathers and Duff, two doltish investigators who attempt to see whether Oliver was one of the robbers of the Maylies' home. They are misled by Losberne and sent back to London with misleading information. Losborn makes it seem that Oliver was wounded in a coincident gunshot accident, and that Oliver therefore had nothing to do with the robbery. Thanks for watching the video.